I am emo child. Hey guys, so we are in a different background today because it is dark and I really wanted to film this video because it's the only time that I've really got. So I'm just sitting right in front of the window because if I sit where I usually sit, it's either half of my face is in darkness or I have the light on and it's just got this really weird tint to it, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna stick with natural lighting but just shift my position. The background is a lot less appealing. We're just gonna have to roll with it. Today I thought I would talk through my top 5 albums. Now, I am a huge music lover, although admittedly I tend to stick to the artists I know, which is just a really bad habit, and I want to break out of it because I want to discover new artists. Choosing my top 5 was quite difficult. I have a number of albums that I can listen to on repeat from beginning to end without skipping any song, but I didn't want to make this huge long list and then be here talking for about half an hour. So I've narrowed it down to 5, and these 5 are in no particular order. Choosing 5 was hard enough. I'm gonna have a little honourable mention section at the end. So the first album that I have is Nothing Personal by All Time Low. This is actually my sister's copy because I don't actually own it, which is sad. I've tried to get her to sell it to me many a times, but not even sell it to me, just give me it. But this album is my favourite album by All Time Low. This album features a song that I associate with the beginning of my emo phase, and that song is Damned If I Do Ya, Damned If I Don't. It just takes me back to like 2009. It's just a feel-good pop punk album. My favourite songs on it are definitely Damned If I Do Ya, Damned If I Don't. Stella, I also really like Break Your Little Heart and Hello Brooklyn. The reason it's one of my favourites is because there's not a song on here that I don't like, and with albums you'll probably know that's very, very rare to find. Album number 2, and even though I said that this isn't in any particular order, I think that this album actually comes in at number 1, American Idiot by Green Day. I feel like this is an album that everyone knows, and it's definitely their most popular and most iconic album. And I kind of have a bit of like, oh, because so many people love this album and because it's so popular, I don't want it to be my favourite, but it is. Green Day were the first band that I had a proper obsession with. No thanks to my best friend and another one of my friends who just kept sending me links to their music over MSN. So I felt like I was bombarded with Green Day from every angle. There was just no escaping it, so I was like, right, okay, I like them. This album is one of those albums that I know every single note. When a song from American Idiot comes on shuffle and it finishes and it doesn't lead into the next song that's after it on the album, I get really uncomfortable and I don't like it, and I'm like, this shouldn't be playing. And What's Her Name is probably one of my favourite songs of all time. And a fun story, I have Green Day Rock Band for the Wii, and I once got 100% playing Jesus of Suburbia. That is a 9-minute song, my friends. To be fair, it was uneasy, but still, to keep it up for 9 minutes, I am the champion. On to the third album now, Riot by Paramore. I listened to this album in my emo days. It's just simply an album that I never get tired of hearing. I don't really talk about Paramore a lot. I've never been obsessed with them as such, but I've always really enjoyed their music, and I don't think I've showed enough appreciation for them in my life. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm so bad at explaining why I like a piece of music or a song. The songs on this give me so much energy. Even though it does have a couple of slower songs, there's still something about them that just gives me like this buzz, I suppose. Miracle and Born for This are two of my favourite songs in general. Two songs that I've listened to for years and could listen to on repeat and never get sick of. Like, whenever they come on shuffle, I am like, yes, I could do anything. It's an album that is timeless for me. Numero 4. Of course, I had to feature an album by Panic! At the Disco. Panic! At the Disco were the second band that I was properly obsessed with after Green Day, but they overtook the Green Day obsession. If you were my friend, like a close friend of mine back in those days, in like 2011, 2012, you will know my obsession with Ryan Ross was real. They were the first band, even over Green Day, that really just, you know, those bands and musicians that you will just go on YouTube and watch endless interviews of them? Panic! At the Disco were that band. Out of all their albums, this is the album that is my favourite and has remained my favourite. There's just something about it that is so different to any other album. I want to describe it as like burlesque punk. I don't know. I'm not good at describing music. My favourite songs on this, but it's better if you do. The only difference between Martyrdom and Suicide is press coverage and Time to Dance. And the final album is a bit different from the kind of pop, punk, emo, alternative, whatever you want to label it as, music, and it is, it was around the wrong way, it is Elect Your Heart by Marina and the Diamonds. Marina is my favourite artist of all time. I'm sure I've said that before. This album is like pop perfection. The whole Elect Your Heart persona era is amazing. It takes me to a time where I was just beginning to watch anime and I was beginning to appreciate the colour pink. It's just good pop music, and my favourite songs on it are Hippocrates, By the Stars. I also really like Teen Idol, Bubblegum Bitch, and I just love the style of it. Like, look at the inside. So those were my top 5 favourite albums. I'm now just going to quickly go through 5 honourable mentions, 5 albums that almost made the cut. Don't Forget by Demi Lovato, English Rain by Gabrielle Aplin, Fixed at Zero by Versa Emerge, Free by Twin Atlantic, and Speak Now by Taylor Swift. Let me know down below what your favourite albums are, and I will see you guys next time.